Hey everyone, it's Peter Kerr from Daydream Nation, and today I've got my mate Steve Deluxe from Rock and Metal Invasion out of New Zealand. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, no, good to be here. Good to do something with you today. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick 4 hair metal bands, have a little bit of fun, do a bit of a reaction video, what we like, what we don't like, and take it from there. So the first one that we're going to do is Kingdom Come, Get It On. So Kingdom Come came out in 1988. The band was Lenny Wolf on vocals, Danny Stagg on guitar, Rick Steer on lead, Johnny Frank on bass, and James Kotak on drums.
Yeah,
they faced a lot of criticism in the day for being a bit of a Led Zeppelin ripoff.
And you can really hear that, can't you, on this opening riff? It's very Led Zeppelin, but I mean, it's for me, a good song's a good song, eh? But
oh yeah, I mean, it mines Kashmir completely, and maybe a couple of other Led Zeppelin riffs, but it's just so catchy. And the 80s was a gold mine for Led Zeppelin riffs.
Yeah.
Let's face it, Still of the Night, Whitesnake. Yeah. That 1987 was definitely mining a lot of Led Zeppelin and makes money.
Yeah, but also too, you had that sort of 80s production. So yes, very Led Zeppelin, but it had that 80s sort of sound, and it had that more of a metal sort of edge, I think, to it.
Updated for the 80s. Updated for the 80s. Yeah. This album of Kingdom Come, which is decent, I've got it, went to number 12. Sold 600,000 units in America, went gold. So that's not shabby. And none of their subsequent albums went as good as this album, but certainly, they had that certain Led Zeppelin sound, and it paid off in spades.
Yeah, it could be too, any publicity is good publicity to some degree, right? So they got a lot of publicity about being, very Led Zeppelin-y, but people heard about them and thought, I guess, I want to judge that. I want to check it out for myself, and and this song in particular was, was popular and it was a bit of a hit. So, yeah.
And it didn't hurt that Lenny Wolf had that plant vibrato. He had that sort of, that high, sort of similar sort of tonality to Robert Plant, did he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Robert Plant, I think he was pretty scathing in the 80s with a lot of the bands that were mining the Led Zeppelin sound. I think he always used to take a lot of pot shots at David Coverdale, and this band was, I think, definitely faced his scorn. Although Jimmy Page said, I think in an interview, that he said that Rick Steer was a good lead guitarist. So kudos from the old Jimmy Page.
Yeah. I don't think Robert Plant and David Coverdale were mates either, were they? At least at the time.
Apparently they were, according to David Coverdale, they were mates in the early days of Whitesnake, but maybe there was a bit of jealousy when 1987 was turning into a mega hit.
Yeah.
But back onto this, I think it's just it's got a real groove to it.
Yeah.
And I like it. I know it's just unashamedly a Led Zeppelin ripoff, but I think it's just really enjoyable.
I mean, the album itself, a lot of the other songs, I think, are just as good, if not better. So yeah, it's, this is it's a really solid album. And Lenny Wolf as well. He'd been in Stone Fury before this band. They'd released a couple of albums, and they're pretty good albums too. And again, there's some Led Zeppelin influences on those albums as well, but no one made a big deal of that because it wasn't popular.
And as you can see in the footage, you've got the drummer going off, and that's James Kotak, who had a stint in Scorpions and left the band pretty acrimoniously, I think, for substance abuse issues, and now is back in Kingdom Come.
Yeah, but then he's out again now because he had some issues, didn't he, at a concert recently?
Yes. Watch that on YouTube. That's a car crash if you want to see it. So there you go. That's Kingdom Come, Get It On. Who is Vinnie Vincent Invasion, Boys Are Gonna Rock from 1986 off the Vinnie Vincent Invasion album. So, Steve, what do you think of this one?
Well, I just love the start to this. So the big heavy riff, and then the drums kicking in here. It's a real statement. If you're wondering what's this Vinnie Vincent band going to sound like, just check out the first single. So, I think for a song that's released as a single, this is pretty heavy. And it really is an indication of what you get when you listen to the album.
It's over the top.
Yeah.
And the imagery is just over the top. You've got the big hair, you've got the pink, you've got the hairspray. It's just hair metal to the power of 11. And I like it. So it's almost parody. It is just so over the top. It's enjoyable. And are they taking it seriously, or is it a little bit tongue in cheek? What do you think?
Oh no, I think it's very serious. There's actually, if you Google making of Boys Are Gonna Rock, there's like a 45-minute making of promo documentary type thing, which you can watch, and that's very, very serious. There's a lot of effort going into making this video. It's like typical sort of 80s rockers. Yeah, they're joking around and being silly as well, but I think the idea was to be over the top, definitely be extreme. But I think what I will say though is I think it's still musically really good.
I'm a defender. Defender, and there's a lot of haters out there, and a lot of people say he's all totally shredding. Look, I've always been a fan of Vinnie Vincent, and there's been some conjecture that he actually doesn't play as fast. It's actually the tape is being sped up, but I've heard other sort of commentary or sort of to say that's not the case. He actually does play as fast as this song is at normal speed, as it's playing out.
Well, he was definitely doing concerts back in the day, so I don't know how he got away with it then. So, and it's interesting when you watch the videos, that sometimes the video totally doesn't match up with what should be happening with him on guitar. His arms are up in the air, but it's just. But you can see here,
the finger tapping, the shredding.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but the imagery is just so over the top. It's enjoyable, and I like that excess. I just think it's wonderful. The band itself, Robert Fleischman, the lead singer, who was previously, I think he had a stint in Journey, and Dana Strum and Bobby Rock.
Yeah, that's right.
I like this lineup. I prefer Robert Fleischman's vocals than Mark Slaughter, and Fleischman left the band, and they brought in Mark Slaughter, and he's the singer in this particular film clip. But I think Vinnie Vincent in a recent convention said that he had a vision that he was going to be Jimmy Page and Robert Fleischman was going to be like the Robert Plant. He had plans, and they were going to put a band together, just a couple of years ago. But Vinnie has been quite erratic in respect of promises to put bands together and things just falling apart. So, but that's a whole different story. Let's talk about what was happening in 1986, and they had a little bit of heat, Steve.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if it went platinum, but I think it did. I think
no,
this album
it didn't. No, I've done research for this. No, it didn't. It should have. But look, he's on fire! What's happening? What's happening here?
Because they're going crazy now and throwing around, and
someone get the fire hose. What's he going to kill him? What?
This is the best bit of the video.
It's exploding.
Because this.
He's doing a Keith Moon. Oh, he's on fire! Get out the fire hose. Oh, no!
like I said, we watched the making of this music video. It's on YouTube. You get to hear about all this explosions and stuff. But yeah, that's how it finishes.
Well, there you go. Nothing exceeds like excess, as they say. That's Vinnie Vincent Invasion. Well, after that last one, let's hope everyone's okay in this film clip and we don't have to get the fireman in. We're doing Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, 1997. Tell us about this one, Steve.
Well, to be honest with you, it's a bit of a surprise, isn't it, when you come out with a new album and, they've just reformed with Vince Neil and they're going to a song that they've, released in the 80s. It's a more industrial kind of a sound, but it's pretty much the song.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess updated.
Yes.
And really, the sound that they were going for on that album is the sound that they've kind of mixed into this version of Shout at the Devil.
Yeah. To me, it doesn't look like anything like Motley Crue in the 80s. So in this era, like with Shout at the Devil, they were very much into their sort of the leather, the satanic gear, maybe a little bit of the Road Warrior Mad Max look. And this one, there's sort of where, he's got the shades, the dirty hair. It doesn't even look peroxide. They're kind of grungy. So it's on the other side of grunge. I really loathe this version. I think it's a real stinker. And I kind of like the metal version of this song, but not the industrial version of this song. And I suspect that Tommy Lee was into a lot of electro and industrial music around this time, and he always has been. He does a lot of DJ mixing, and even his solo albums are very electronic, and I think it's his influence where he's pushing this, hey dudes, come on, let's update some of our old songs and put this in. I think it's a huge mistake. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was Tommy Lee that led the charge on this, and I'm a bit surprised that Nicky Sixx went for it because he's the man, isn't he? He's the boss. But I think he thought, yeah, okay, this might work, and when it didn't really work, they then, next album they went back to a little bit more their traditional sound. But yeah, I mean, and
he was out, wasn't he? So
yeah,
Generation Swine. Which didn't do so well, but when they went back to their traditional sound, Tommy left the band.
Yeah.
But there you go.
About it, they really, since this album, they really haven't. For me anyway, they've just not been the same band, and they've only put out, I think, New Tattoo and Thanks of Los Angeles. There's not been a lot of anyway, but yeah.
It's fun to watch. Vince looks very energetic. In 1997, he's moving around a lot more than some of the footage I'm seeing on that quadruple headlining tour, in the States with Def Leppard and Poison and Joan Jett. He's looking quite active.
Yeah, he got through it though, didn't he? Although I'm hearing maybe Mick Mars could be out and John 5's coming in.
Really?
That's what the rumours are, yeah.
Mars out, 5 in.
yeah.
There's all there was, and then it was Lee out and Kalufo in. They must have a substitute bench. It's like the All Blacks, isn't it? Sort of. They've got all these heavy metal players on the bench on the side, and okay, your turn, come in. Oh, it's over. There you go. Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, 1997.